Palantir stock was down approximately 20% from December 23rd through December 31st, finishing out December at a one-month low of $23.55. And this was certainly not something that us long-term investors were hoping to see, with PLTR failing a few times in the past few months to significantly push past and stay above the resistance of $30 per share. Therefore, the question becomes, is this the end for Palantir? In this Palantir stock analysis video, I'm going to talk about a developing story of a Palantir acquisition, which sounds crazy, I know, and I want to correct some of the speculation and hypothesize what could happen next. Also, I want to revisit the near-term catalysts for PLTR and discuss whether or not my Palantir stock price predictions still have a high likelihood of coming to fruition. Let's go. Lockup expiration. In general, I've seen a lot of confusion on the lockup period expiration for this stock and when this event actually occurs. While I don't believe there is a specific and exact date right now, the lockup does not expire until 3 days after Q4 earnings and that report, which, as of my best estimate, would be the second or third week of February. I think that, as many just witnessed with Lemonade stock, Palantir faced a sell-off into the new year because of fear that the upcoming release of stock will tank the share price. But as we saw with LMND, the stock quickly returned to all-time highs in pre-market trading a few days later, and then settled back down after nothing more than a little bit of a speed bump. Again, Palantir's lockup restriction ends 3 days after they release their Q4 earnings. So I think some shareholders may have been exiting even a little soon in anticipation of this Q1 expiration timeline, and this could have been a reason for the decline, along with this end-of-year drop being attributed mostly for taxes and money managers finalizing year-long earnings. Near-term catalysts. I'll keep this quick because I've gone over these before. We have a notable Alex Karp interview coming up. I'll put a link in the description for that. And we've got Demo Day, which isn't necessarily a catalyst, but I believe it to be more of a sentiment shifter, which is important nonetheless. And we have the following Q4 earnings report, which is hopefully strong enough to catalyze the stock higher. And then getting past the lockup expiration should ease the fear of some of the investors. I think there is a lot of good news coming for PLTR in the next few months. It's just a matter of how well the stock can get past the lockup in order to move forward with its story. 2021 stock price predictions. In my last Palantir video, I outlined a base case of $40, target of $50, and a bull case of $60 if everything goes right for Palantir in 2021. But with the stock careening down towards $20 per share, are any of these targets possible? I do believe they are, and I still think Palantir could increase by over 100% in the next 12 months. Granted, I did not think Palantir was going to fall below the $24 support line, and it could surprise me even more by dropping below $20 per share. But I think if you look at the 3-month chart, we are near where the stock should be bottoming out, at least for now. Is Palantir getting acquired? Short answer, no. Long answer is as follows. On December 23rd, 2020, Mithril LP got granted access by the FTC to acquire Palantir. Looking a little deeper, Mithril, headquartered in Austin, Texas, is a global investment firm co-founded by none other than Peter Thiel. It claims to, quote, invest and partner with teams who use technology to build valuable and lasting businesses, often in industries long overdue for change. Each of these businesses is unique, but all face common challenges to unlocking long-term growth. We help navigate these critical inflection points, and we invest in size and with conviction. End quote. What does it even mean that Mithril is getting involved with Palantir? In my eyes, it's not a merger or an acquisition, since neither of those would make sense. As we all know, Palantir just went public last year via a direct listing in September. It is not going to either take itself private or merge with some investment firm just because it is co-founded by Peter Thiel. So, instead, it could be that a majority stake of PLTR is going to be acquired by Mithril, but we don't know exactly how much or when this will take place. According to the FTC, the HSR Act must also be followed, including a 30-day HSR period, in the event of a large transfer of assets of nearly any kind, so this is definitely going to need to follow those guidelines. Therefore, this notice might be a confirmation of Mithril buying shares totaling more than $62 million US, since if anything exceeds this amount, it must be reported. Therefore, if it is the case that Mithril buys up a large tranche of the float of Palantir stock, that would put huge upward pressure on the stock in my opinion. But it's worth noting that Mithril has only about $1 billion in assets under management, and this is further solidifying the fact that this is not an all-out acquisition of the entire business, but more likely just a large amount of buying that needs to be cleared by the FTC. Basically, Mithril might be prepping to buy at least $62 million worth of employee shares after the lockup period. Again, we don't know exactly when this is happening, but that could be a likely explanation. And as I already stated, the current short-term sentiment is bearish with high anticipation of the lockup, and many are anticipating a subsequent drop in share price. But this news could correct to a long-term bullish scenario by reducing the float and increasing insider ownership. After all, why would Mithril, owned by Teal, want to buy shares if they didn't believe the company would be a great long-term success story? The bull case from here. The bull case from here is the following. Karp's interview goes well. We get those amazing Q4 earnings results, the analysts finally understand Foundry and Apollo and Gotham, all of those values from demo day, and Mithril hopefully absorbs some of the lockup sell-off. Personally, as I've said before, I don't think that the Palantir leadership and management is going to dump all of their shares. However, I do think there will be a natural sell-off as some people take money off the table, but I don't think that there will be a material sell-off, especially if Mithril steps in. Also, if this does end up panning out, it could help to fix the corporate governance structure that is currently set up with the founders retaining majority voting rights for all of time. Maybe this could be Teal relinquishing some of his access to voting power. I don't know what, if anything, would change with this. Just to be clear, it's just me speculating on the possibility.
We're focused on, we are going to be the most important software company in the world, and people will figure out what that's valued over a long period of time. And we're very comfortable with investors toying around. It could be like this, it could be like that. We are going to deliver the world's best software with the world's most efficient way of delivering it. And I think you'll find in a number of years that there will be a consensus Palantir is a truly special software company that is arguably the most important software company in the world.
But to wrap this up, I know this is an ongoing story and I will be here to cover it for you. It might not turn into anything, but with the lockup expiration approaching, from my vantage point, it appears that Peter Thiel is standing by to buy up shares of Palantir stock when he sees fit. Again, I could be wrong on that, so I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Is Palantir stock getting acquired at least partially by Mithril, or is PLTR stock done for regardless? Now drop a like if this analysis was helpful to you, and subscribe if you haven't already. I can't wait to see where this first week of trading for 2021 takes us with Palantir. Until next time.